dropped. I was like, oh my God, things just got real.
Yeah.
And so the coach that leads this group, he was a Western States finisher in 1990. So he was still around. So I walked over to him, and I'm, just like, I just got in. I just got into Western States. Anyway, so it was really exciting. But then, as you know, I've never run 100 miles before. So then all of a sudden, just like, wow. I mean, I was figuring this would take 2 or 3 years. I had a kind of a methodical way up to, path up to 100K, and I figured I was already planning out my year this year. I was like, okay, I'll maybe run 100K earlier in the year and get a qualifier, and then I'll try to run my first 100-miler later this year, get a little 100-mile experience under my belt, and then hopefully next year, I'll have my odds of getting into States will be better, and I'll be ready to go. But as luck would have it, you can't. I guess there's no perfect time for anything. You can't plan it out always the way you want it to.
Yeah, you got to grab the bull by the horns and go with it when the universe presents you with a gift like that. You got to make the most of it and get after it. So tell us about your training. How's your build up been, and how's all that going? And then I know you've been working with Chris on the strength side of things, so I'm interested to hear about that stuff and how that's been helping. And was that something you had been doing, or was that something you kind of felt that you needed to complement all the volume that you were doing?
Yeah, so I was definitely not doing that, but it was something I figured I needed to do to really just get tougher out there for the 100 miles. And when you said, you earlier said, sometimes you just gotta grab the bull by the horns, and that's exactly what happened when it came time to train. I just started thinking about all the things that I need to do, and I was going to leave no stone unturned. From articles on the internet to watching videos to about the race, just the preparing that way. But physically, I knew that running is one part of it, but I've never run 100 miles before through the mountains with all of the descent and the climbing and the heat. I'm like, I've got to get strong. I've got to get, tougher than I have been. And so I think Chris and I maybe, we've been acquaintances for a long time, mutual running friends. And we were just chatting a couple weeks earlier at somebody's party. And he was telling me about the Long Run project and kind of this all-encompassing program that he was putting together where it's, looking at, helping runners basically, not really just helping them come back from injury, which a lot of PTs do, but really just helping them be better, stronger runners all the way around, and not waiting until you get injured, but just like, preventing that, looking at mobility, looking for, places where people are weak and strengthening those. And anyway, so yeah, I reached out to Chris and asked him if he would help me out. And we started, he was totally on board, which was really cool, and started driving up to his gym, once a week and doing some strength sessions. And it's been great. There's no question that I'm, stronger than I've ever been as far as running goes. I mean, I'm just turned 40 this year, and I would have never thought that I would be in the best shape of my life at 40 years old. But thanks to running and thanks to getting help from Chris, I mean, I'm there. So I guess that's a little bit about the strength stuff. What else? You're asking me about some of the training buildup. What else am I missing here that we need to chat about?
Yeah, I mean, like what, there's a lot of philosophies out there in terms of approach to training. I'm coming myself more from a track background. So, I've kind of adopted more of a Daniel style philosophy where I know a lot of people in the endurance world are now getting into math a little bit more. What's your training been like? What have you been doing? Have you been doing intervals at all? Or have you been sticking mostly to the trails? Have you been mixing it up? Like what's a week look like for you?
Yeah. So, speed workout on Tuesdays and long run on Saturday is kind of the gist of it. And so those speed workouts on Tuesdays, sometimes that was just on road doing I did a lot of tempo interval work and progression runs. Like you, I didn't have a track background, but the road background, I've read Jack Daniel's, running formula and followed his elite marathon training program. And so I'm really well versed in kind of that stuff. But yeah, so for this go around, I kind of came at it from a lot of different angles. I did get some running coaching help from David Laney and Trails and Tarmac, and so I was getting workouts from David Laney, who is going to be running the race. He's run it before, so that I think helped a lot. He's got kind of a road background, which worked well for what I was doing. I guess it was a combination of both trails and road always. Some of those tempo workouts too during the week on Tuesdays, that would be, go, 12 minutes, hard, up a mountain and then easy back down, and then 12 minutes hard on flat road, and then go back to the up, and then, hit it, hard for 12 minutes up again. But then there's also obviously downhill repeats, preparing for that. So that was some of the running stuff. I really dialed in my nutrition. I know this can be a bit, there's schools of thought on the whole carb fat thing, and I've done well with both. But I've really transformed more really adopted more of the low carb, high fat, and it's really working well for me.
Nice. What sorts of things with the high fat and that sort of approach? What have been your fuel sources in your training, and what are you gonna roll with at Western?
Yeah, for the fuel, it's UCAN super starch, which is a carb but not a sugar. So you don't get the insulin spike that you get from sugar, which kicks you out of fat burn mode. So I've been training with that and really liking that. I had a great tune-up race a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, where I was using that. And then also discovered another energy product. It's local to San Diego. The guy's out of La Jolla. It's called Muir Energy, as in like the John Muir Trail. And their products are great. He developed this stuff when he was section hiking the John Muir Trail. He was just, he wanted to eat real food, but actually have stuff that was transportable. So all of his gels have anywhere from 5 to 6 ingredients in them, and they're all natural ingredients. You can look at the label on the back, and you can read every one of them and pronounce every one of them and know what they are. It's not, so it's food, but it's processed and into these gel pockets. So those two things have been working really well for me.
What flavors are you rolling with the UCAN? Because I got a sample of it, and I tested it out. I found it to be a little, I guess I want to say chalky.
That's the exact word I use to describe it.
Yeah, I see, and I don't, I only used it in a training setting, so I just with something like that, I wasn't sure if it was just the flavor or if that's how it is for all of them. So.
Yeah, I haven't actually experimented with a lot of the flavors. I think I've tried 2 or 3. I tend to just, any time I'm getting that stuff, I think my go-to is like lemon or lemon lime for whatever reason. A lot of the berry stuff is probably fine. I'm not too picky, but I know what I'm going to get when I pick lemon for the most part. So for no other reason, I've just been using lemon, and it is, you have to, if you're interested in that product, I've explained it this way to people. Like if you did a blind taste test with some other stuff, it's probably going to be your least favorite. It's not so much that it's the flavor, but like you said, it's kind of chalky. I'm willing to pay that price based on what I know, kind of the science behind it and how my body's going to perform using it. It's not, to me, it doesn't taste bad. It's just kind of has a little bit of a different texture to it. And so I don't mind it. it's like one of those things. If you tell me, once upon a time I didn't used to like avocados, and now knowing that they're a great source of fat and they're so healthy for you, I'm eating avocados like a madman. You tell me something's good for me or something's going to help me, I'll learn to like it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I could always eat guacamole, but for some reason, like I just couldn't like take a spoon and just eat an avocado. But now I'm the same way. Like I eat avocados daily. Are you gonna use anything else, or is those gonna be your two go-tos for Western?
Those are my go-tos. That's my nutrition plan. Just reading some stuff and getting a little advice from Laney. I think it's good. He was saying it's good to have a plan, but it's also good to be prepared for a backup plan in case you get sick of these gels and you can't stomach another one. I've got like 4 or 5 different flavors of these things. And it's kind of, even though it's coming out of a pouch or a little gel packet, it is essentially real food. So I think I'm going to kind of be okay with those. But yeah, so anyway, that's really the plan. But I suppose, I don't know what it feels like to be at mile 70, at mile 80, at mile 90. So many people swear by, drinking, Coca-Cola and some other stuff, salted potato chips, and maybe I'll get to a point where I'm going to be craving that stuff and I'm going to need something and I'll go for it. But I guess I'll just figure it out as, if that happens, I'll go for it. But otherwise, I'm going to try to stick to my plan. Yeah.
I think I ran probably about 40 miles in Leadville in 2014 on Coca-Cola and Sprite. Yeah, it's for me. It's a quick fix, and it did the job, and it kept me moving. What's your plan?
As far as the race goes?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, I think I'll go out with the lead pack and just hang on for dear life.
Nice.
I'm a rookie at this. Like I said, I don't know what it feels like to be at 70, 80, and 90. My plan is to go there and finish. It's to come home with a buckle. Yeah. If I finish in 29 hours, I'll be happy with a finish. However, I think given my times on the road and how I've performed on these ultra marathons that I've done, and just knowing the kind of shape that I'm in, I do feel like I'm capable of running under 24 hours. I realize there's a lot of factors that, like we were just talking about nutrition and, who know, sometimes it's whether it's your shoes, gear, blisters, spraining an ankle, anything can happen out there. But I think if things go as I hope they will, I think I can come in under 24 hours. And outside of that, that's it. I'm not gonna set. If I was running a marathon, I would be able to tell you a specific time goal. Yeah, I'm based on my training and my splits. I feel like I can run 2:39, and that's what I'm going for. In this case, it's to go out there and finish, and I'm really hoping I can come in under 24.
Nice. Yeah, that was my plan. That was what I told everyone, when I left New Jersey to go to Leadville, and all summer long, the goal was just to finish in under 24 hours. And then in the process of being there for 3 months and then finishing third at the Silver Rush 50, people started talking and every time they're like, my money's on you or whatever. I'm like, I'm just here to finish. I just want my buckle, and then, 4 a.m. the gun goes off when we start, and I got Rob Craw on my right and Michael Aish on my left, and I'm shitting my pants, but
that's good company.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, shit, maybe these people are right, and but at the same time, when I picked up a pacer, and he wanted to know, do you want to know where you're at or what place you're in, and I was like, nope, I'll figure it out when I get there. I'm just enjoying the moment. And he was like, all right, well, you're gonna be happy when you get there. Let's just keep going. So I think that's a good approach. And one of my one of my good friends who's also helped me with some training and stuff.